Okay, good afternoon. This is Barb in North Carolina. I'm list mom on we are a group devoted to Mattel knitters, little round crank knitters. Um, and right now we got the innovations front and center on it. Um, I like it because um, I originally got it actually for a sock machine. I was looking for a workbench, but the ones at Lowe's and Home Depot were way too big. This one is only 23 inches wide, and you can use these things right here to crank this opening closed or shut. I could either have a flat surface that's about 8 inches wide, or as you see it set up right here, so that the panel and the tube can go down, and down all the way down there is a salad spinner so that the tube can turn easily and not get all twisted up. With it comes these chuck devices, and I found that I could position it where it would hold the machine in 4 places. There, and there. And I've put some wedges of that Rubbermaid type shelf material, that kind of anti-skid stuff. I've got it also in a couple places under the machine itself to stabilize it. Makes it very, very stable. I don't have to worry about it moving while I'm knitting. The holes in the table are kind of handy because of hole scissors, things like that. There's enough room for my art light for nighttime knitting. And my son-in-law made this, at my request, made this shelf for me with some holes in both ends for applying yarn. And talk about that in a minute. So let's go around to the front here. Let's see, got my adjustable chair. I highly recommend a chair that goes up and down if you're going to do any machine knitting. Here we go right here. Okay, as you see, I don't have the legs on it. Some of the legs would fit in these holes, but not enough of them to really make it stable, and it was awfully high. It added about 4 inches, so I chose not to use them. But my sock machine clamps on the front very nicely here, and it comes out this way. It's quite heavy, but it comes out this way, and the sock goes down this way, so I don't have to worry about having the workbench open for that. Now for applying the yarn, what I do is take one cone and put it on the floor under that shelf, thread the yarn up through that hole, and also through this hole, and I find this Afghan hook particularly handy for that. Just go down there and pull that up, and then I can either wind it on my winder, which I would have here, into a ball, or directly knit that way. You can do it either way. And the reason the holes, I got some holes for the back, is the Circular Sock Machine has a mast on it and feeds from the back. So that's why I had to have the holes in both places. Now if you have a skein of yarn like this, which unravels or comes out at a very unpredictable way. There'll be all sorts of tension glitches and knots and all sorts of things. So I don't like surprises. So I usually, in machine knitting, will off-wind or make center pull balls with the ball winder. Now, in order to come up with something that would work as a plot to ply from a skein, I had to figure out a way to get this center to stay open. Because I didn't have a cardboard. So this is nothing more than the inside of a toilet paper core that I cut so that the ends would splay out like that. And because it didn't fit very well, I put this rubber band on so that when I stick this on there, it pretty much stays. And I can wind off something that looks like this and works well. Also, I need to have some clips handy to stick on the yarn tail. I can use this table also from an Addy King, and the Addy Express, and it has two of them because two of the legs will clamp if I use it with the legs. Sometimes I'll just use it like you see the Innovation set up here if I can get it set up right and nice and stable. I like a stable machine. I don't want a machine running all over the place on me. Okay, let's see. You see the salad spinner under here. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah. Here, there's my one of my Barbie knitters. I have too many knitters, lots and lots of knitters. The Bratz machine, any of them, they all work the same. They actually are the same size, needle to needle, even though they don't really look like it, they are. I think the Innovations is slightly, maybe a millimeter wider, but which lets it accommodate the heavier yarns. I can use the good old Red Heart Super Saver, which is really not good for the smaller knitters. You really need to stick with something like Caron Simply Soft for the small knitters. Just works better. Now, if I'm in the middle of something and I have to get up and go, this handle over here is a child magnet. So I have learned to cover it with a bag or something so that they know that not to touch that handle. Because as you know, if you go the wrong way, you're going to drop stitches off and make a mess. And they have made a couple of messes for me, and that's why I now cover my machine if there's something on there and I don't want it messed up and I know they're coming. They live right next door, so they'll pop in at any given time. Also, things to have on hand: a ruler. This is actually a rug latch hook device that you can buy anywhere. It's got a latch device that goes up, that closes. See, like that. And you can pick up stitches in a hurry if you should drop one. And if you're going to machine knit, you're going to drop stitches, and you get aggravated and frustrated. But that's just part of the fun. Something else I like to have are double pointed needles like this. It's just with a cable on it to take stitches off. I don't actually knit. If I'm going to knit something else, I usually knit on needles this size to finish off something if I take it off on waste yarn. You see, I've got a bunch of little balls of waste yarn and different ugly colors that I use over and over again. Just wind it back up after I finish using it, and that's pretty much my setup. Let's see. Oh, my TV is right there because when I'm working with the sock machine, I need to put my how-to videos in there. They're stacked up over there on the corner, and so it makes it very handy for me to watch my how-to videos. And with my sock machine, I need them to do some of the different things with it. I need some extra help. Being in the South, there's not many sock knitters around here, so I have to rely on my how-to videos. But that's my setup, and let's get to knitting something.